Welcome to the Stargate Finance Community Call, where we discuss proposals and ideas that will help shape and govern the Stargate Protocol. Feel free to join the conversation on stage anytime if you have a question by clicking on the raise hand button. I think it's now might be at the top of the screen. Discord's made some changes. If you are in Twitter Spaces, though, please request to speak there, and we'll get you up as well. And if for any of those that are wanting to chime in via text, there is the AMA text questions, or through YouTube or through Twitch, you are able to ask questions, as those are all aggregating there, and we should be able to keep an eye on them. And then again, live streaming to YouTube and Twitch. So if you're there, be sure to subscribe and like. And again, this is just a reminder that none of this is financial accounting or legal advice. So please do your own research. Okay, one of the biggest, exciting things that we've had here was Sushi X Swap. Of course, we had the Sarong on Monday, and I do see him here in the audience again. I am going to poke him and see if he can come up here and kind of chat a little bit more about Sushi X Swap if any of you didn't get a chance to chime in on Monday. But really stoked on being able to do exactly what we've been wanting to do, one of these early showcases of Sushi X Swap. We're seeing some volume behind it now. More and more people are starting to see it, and I think you guys are even working, Sarong, you guys are saying even making some more things a little more efficient too, or some plans with that as well. How are things looking here so far?
Oh yeah, hey everyone. I was just listening in, but yeah. So basically, we are adding ETH as a collateral type. We were just testing a few things on that side, and so that users don't have to do an unnecessary swap for ETH. The other thing we're gonna do is tune in the gas prices. Now we have a better understanding on how different gases work on different networks. So the swaps from the gas estimation would also be much cheaper. And then we have added four new modules on top of it for Kashi, Furo, and Miso. So basically, what you can do is you can now directly interact. I mean, it's still not hooked up with the UI. It's gonna release with our Sushi 2.0. But yeah, like what we were talking about yesterday, it's done by today, and we'll start the testing for that in next week. So yeah, you can basically add collateral to Kashi from any chain, take out the Furos, the streams to any different chain that you want to, and with all powered by Stargate and Sushi X Swap in the underlying. So
Awesome.
yeah, not a lot of updates from yesterday, but yeah.
Yeah, no, that's cool though. Just really stoked on this, being these products working together so well, and just finding more and more use cases. Rather than just here's just the routing through a deck swap, which I mean is still amazing and incredible, but to be able to find that there is more use case for this even throughout the product, within the suite, within DeFi suites, I guess is the way to actually look at it. So to have further and further integration with Sushi, this is epic. And let's see what this where this can go with further adoption and volume and all that. So yeah, glad to hear you guys are thinking positively about this, and and are excited to be building on top of it. Cool. Well, we like you're saying there, with the ETH pools enabled, or once you have those enabled, that's going to help with a lot of different things too. So wicked. I don't know. Has anybody got any questions? I guess Ron kind of hopped in and out there, but any questions for Sushi X Swap stuff while we've got Sarong here? But if you do later on, feel free to pop them in, or you can DM me or ask about that later. But overall, very pleased with what's happened there. And actually, I'm just going to open up this link. I know that Sarong, Sarong's just been working like a champ on all that. So thank you for all your hard work. Okay. And for any of you that missed the AMA, the AMA on Monday, head over to the Stargate Finance YouTube, and you'll be able to have that recap there if you did miss it and wanted to check that out. Next up was the OP rewards. Obviously the no longer emitting STG on Optimism right now. So if you're LPing over there, you are now the OP rewards are available. So those are the ones that we that Stargate had received from Optimism through the Optimism airdrop. So yeah, finally, having that all into place and people farming over there now and being able to provide liquidity and get those incentives. Obviously, that's like we want that. The less emissions we can have for Stargate, the better, and to start getting more traction and interest to Optimism. Yeah, it seems like Optimism is getting more and more traction. And the last I looked, we were like maybe 6th or 7th in like one of the TVLs across Optimism. I'll have to double check on that one, but yeah, we're doing quite well as far as as far as some of the applications on top of Optimism. Yeah, and of course this the migration that we did. Hopefully, if anybody did have to migrate their liquidity, hopefully that was like really sweet and simple. We want to be able to make these things as seamless as possible. Any type of stuff, we want to have like a great UX and UI experience for all users when anything like this needs to happen. I was pretty impressed with it. It was just a couple clicks and off you went. Be able to migrate right into the new contract. But yeah, again, this is we're emitting less STG. This is like a pretty key thing here. So if we can, capitalizing on this to be able to attract that liquidity that we need in order to sustain the protocol with less STG emissions, yeah, this is a win-win, I think, for everybody. Next up, I guess, is Bribes. Maki, have you had a chance to had a chance to look at these bribes and just kind of where we're at, or what's the kind of the latest on our bribing?
Yes, hello everyone. We are right now since last time we did a small update, basically spent around 150,000. This is extremely kind of low for the past basically month. We have even had one round without any bribes at all, just to see kind of how things were behaving. We're around 2% APR with basically or current kind of holdings of CRV and so on. This is going well, and so far nothing alarming or nothing to change. We've been bribing the convex holder this round, but we're gonna go back to CRV for the next few weeks. We just had a small kind of time issue. I was in holiday and so on. So, anyways, this is everything is going well on this front.
Perfect. Okay, yeah, glad to hear that, and we'll keep people updated as things come in, or if people have a question. We can go further with that. And then, yes, can I bribe someone to give me that cryptic tweet answer? Well, we'll get there. It was cool to see some people deciphering the cryptic message, from Twitter there. But you're getting close. All right. And then of course, just seeing the TVL and where we're at here. Last I looked, yesterday, I saw over 40 million was in ETH pools right now. So that is growing incredibly. That's one of the deepest places for liquidity across, for ETH, I think, across the ecosystem. So we're creating really great ways, especially to come back from Optimism or Arbitrum back to mainnet, being able to have that as a really solid option for people to use, and not waiting that 7 days, and just a ton of depth of liquidity. Very pleased to see that happening. And then as far as proposals, one that was kind of came up here and is kind of interesting here in regards to Optimism and how we've been kind of thinking about things and looking at Optimism as it's growing and whatnot. But the Velodrome post here about saying using that as the main DEX for liquidity. Now, this kind of brings in some interesting ideas here. With right now the current liquidity is on Uniswap. That V3 position is not concentrated or anything. It's I don't know what you call it, a full range position. So it's not as obviously as capital efficient as it could be, but it would require management to deal with that. So I don't know, when we look at Velodrome, they've kind of got the bribes and everything else within that whole ecosystem. But we didn't and Maki, maybe you can speak to this one some more here. Obviously, your post kind of discussed this
Yep.
here with.
Yep. So basically, like, I just saw like the Velodrome proposal. I think it's kind of interesting on optimism, and we're always trying to make sure the DAO is kind of, I don't know, like optimized and so on in all its positions and so on. Velodrome, kind of, like, since we are not a launch partner, we're kind of falling a little bit behind what everyone else that kind of got an NFT and so on, and we would need to like kind of spend more Stargate token to kind of get back into, I would say, like the runner, into like good position and so on. So I do feel like right now, managing just one already is a lot of work. I would say. I think, I was also exploring kind of Arrakis, which is basically like from Gelato Network, which is able to concentrate the liquidity and move the ranges kind of automatically whenever like they're outside of some specific kind of um, points. Let's call it that way. Highly interesting. They don't have any tokens, but they announced one, so potentially like the DAO could be eligible for an airdrop. This seems to me like a way more sane kind of approach. We would basically like increase the efficiency of our POL while potentially being able to be part of get some meta governance in the next DAO at Arrakis. So kind of keen to hear like what other community member are thinking on this sense. I am pretty kind of personally like neutral on this, but I feel like whichever way we go, like it cannot be worse than the current place where we are. Like full range doesn't seem to be like a good deal in my opinion for the current state of things.
Yeah. So, if anything, like, being able to concentrate and deal with that is we're going to require some management. Even if we were to, look at the Uni V3 position, and then who should manage that, or what is the best, most efficient way to do that. It may make sense. Yeah. Like you're kind of proposing here, one of these other protocols that could manage that for the DAO. So that does make a lot of sense to me. And I'm not super familiar with Arrakis, but obviously they're fairly new and looking to do some cool stuff. That's cool that we were looking at that. I don't know if anybody else has had a chance to look at other other dexes or other kind of like protocols within Optimism that could make sense. But Velodrome has gained a lot of attention. Would have been nice to have been a launch partner with them. But that didn't seem to work out. But perhaps looking to like align with new new protocols and whatnot might be kind of cool. So there's also and then Balancer. What about Balancer? I haven't really looked at that too much. I don't know, Maki, can you speak to that at all with like Balancer on Optimism?
I think that on Optimism, it's a friendly fork called Beethoven X. I haven't looked into it, to be honest, that much. I really like Balancer and what they're up to, but I do think for Optimism, like so far, like we could go do like a 80-20 kind of pool to kind of have a little bit more liquidity on this front, but I don't really see kind of I feel like the whatever work would be done over there wouldn't make a lot of sense. Maybe on mainnet could make sense. We'll see. Like we have some collaboration with Balancer coming up, so I guess once this is done, perhaps we can explore like a little bit more kind of partnership or collaboration from POL side. But at the moment, nothing. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, anyways, this is some further stuff to explore here. And, I was just looking at passive crypto here mentioned, like, so why would we need that? We got liquidity on other chains and not bribing any of them other than Curve on mainnet. If you want to get set up on liquidity, Balancer is a better option. So, that kind of stuff, we can explore things further here and see what's up. But, maybe if people have a chance, have a look at obviously we're bringing up Arrakis here. That's one that Maki pointed out. Have a take a look at that, see if that makes sense. And yeah, we can kind of dive into that further. But anywhere where we can, obviously make the DAO more efficient or more productive, I think is going to be beneficial. Yeah. Now I do see some questions here again about Solana. Primo, are you able to any updates on Solana?
Yeah, 100%. We are in the final stages, I would say. So there's probably 40 teams testing on the Solana DevNet right now for the layer 0 side. Stargate will come after that is stable. So right now, we're going to be rolling out on top of a bunch of more EVM chains. We're going to be rolling out on Solana, Aptos, and Sui. And I think the goal will be to sort of bring Stargate to those ecosystems. But as with everything, especially with everything that's happened lately with the hacks and the bridges, like security first, man, it just takes time. But 100% Solana is coming soon. I would say, maybe a month away from mainnet. The code base is in audit right now. The layer 0 code base is in audit for both Solana and Aptos. So that should tell you how far along it is.
Wicked. Yeah, that's and really good point about security first. That we're seeing so much. It's continual. It seems. Obviously, the layer 0 approach is something that we're very believe in and see that's like the strong security model. But at the same time, any of that code stuff needs to be rigorously tested. And yeah, really glad to hear that's like the main focus. So, especially in this ecosystem. But yeah, so stay tuned, folks. There you have it. Hopefully it's sooner than later. But cool. Max, I see you're up here as well. Do you want to, if you got any emissions updates or how things are kind of looking that way on that front?
No real emissions updates. Everything looks good there. Excited about Optimism. Just ran some numbers last week, and given the current environment, the token price, the TVL targets that we have right now, we could last well over a year with the OPA rewards in terms of incentivizing liquidity on those chains. So
nice.
That's super exciting. Great for the DAO. Other thing outside of emissions that I wanted to highlight is we have another very exciting integration coming soon, most likely within the next week. So keep a lookout for that.
Awesome. All right. A little bit of, small alpha leak on that. Cool. Well, I don't know if anybody's got questions, comments, concerns here from either side. If you're in Discord, please raise your hand, come on up, or in Twitter if you have request to speak. If you've got any questions here, and then again, thanks for those who've been bringing them in via chat bringing them in via chat from Discord or YouTube or Twitch. But if not, feel free to, of course, reach out in Discord. DMs are open, and this will be posted up on YouTube, so you can follow up and catch up on it afterwards. It's live streaming there now, and I just want to thank everybody for coming out. And if you've been here for 10, 15 minutes, you will be eligible for a POAP. If you are, I saw somebody mentioning that from YouTube. If you're in YouTube, we need to have you in Discord in order to get that POAP. So we are working on ways of making that reach out to to other platforms, even the people who are over in Twitter. I'm gonna try and get that dialed in for you too, so that you don't have to be hopping over in Discord as well to get your POAP. But for over in YouTube, we'll get you sorted eventually. But check it out check this recording out on YouTube afterwards, and we'll see you all in a couple of weeks. Thanks everybody. Talk to you soon.